bringing you the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
Hello, and thanks for joining us. I'm Ellie Pye Hong, and this is Comcast Newsmakers, coming to you from the state capitol in Springfield. This hour's newsmaker is Sarah Feigenholz, state representative for the 12th District. Today, we'll be talking about the state's new adoption law. Great to have you here, Sarah.
Thanks, it's great to be here.
Now, this new adoption law has already passed.
Yes.
But this legislation came from a very personal story.
It did. I was born and adopted in Illinois to a loving family. And when I went to get my passport, I was moved into a separate line. I learned I was adopted. And from that point on, I was one of the adoptees in this world who searched for questions and answers about my family of origin, my birth family, and I was very fortunate to have had a reunion when I was in my late 20s. But when I got elected to the General Assembly, I was approached by many adoptees who wanted access to their original birth certificate because we retroactively sealed records in the state for 99 years.
So currently, for adoptees who want their original birth certificate, it's not possible.
Well, it is possible right now for adoptees who were born in Illinois before 1946. So the law breaks us into two groups. Pre-46 adoptees can get their birth certificates right now because when we did a historical study of adoption statute, we learned that there was never any contemplation of the sealing of records prior to 1976. So we felt comfortable giving people an opportunity to get their birth certificates immediately. Many of those pre-46 adoptees have their birth certificates because when they were going to war, when they were going into the service, they were able to get their original birth certificates. Keep in mind, in Illinois, we retroactively sealed records 100 years. So some of those pre-46 adoptees were able to get their birth certificates, then they weren't able to get them, and now they can get them again. So you can go online and apply for this just like anyone else if you were born before 46.
But for those born after 46, it's a different story.
It is. So in the new piece of legislation, which is very complex, which is why we have an informational website that we'll talk about soon, we have a 1-year waiting period, and on November 15th, 2011, all adult adopted persons in the state of Illinois who were born in the state of Illinois are able to apply for their original birth certificates at the Illinois Department of Public Health's Office of Vital Records.
And you're allowing this 1-year waiting period to give birth parents the option to release or not release those birth certificates.
Correct. What we've done in all of our Illinois experience is learn that there's a very small minority of birth parents who want to keep their identities, they would like to remain anonymous. And the majority of birth parents do not want to be anonymous. They want the child they relinquish to know their identity at a minimum, or they want some form of contact and exchange of information through an intermediary. But we're finally putting the power back into the parties' hands to determine their own fate. But they do have a right in this 1-year period to come forward and file for anonymity or gradations of it. They may say, I don't want contact, but I believe that the child that I gave up deserves the right to know their name, and permit them to get that birth certificate. So on November 15th, many adoptees will be applying for their birth certificates.
2011.
Right, and if there is nothing filed, no indication, the assumption will be that that birth certificate can be released.
And you can find out more information on how to do that on newillinoisadoptionlaw.com.
Correct.
All right. Thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time. This hour's newsmaker has been State Representative Sarah Feigenholz. I'm Ellie Pye Hong. Thank you so much for joining us. For more information on Newsmakers, check us out online at newsmakers.tv.
The preceding was a presentation of Comcast Newsmakers. Now, back to headline news.